I am so excited because today we're talking about one of my most favorite things ever, chocolate. Hey there, I'm Kristen from A Mindful Mom, and I am not ashamed to admit that I crave chocolate after breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all hours in between. And while I love a fudgy brownie or a warm chocolate chip cookie, in the summer, I definitely don't want to turn on my oven. First up is the classic childhood treat of a fudgecicle. In a small saucepan, add 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. If you have a corn allergy, use arrowroot powder, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I'm using coconut sugar today, but any type of sugar you like works. And then you want to add in a pinch of salt, which helps to balance out the sweetness. Whisk that mixture together until everything's incorporated, and then you want to whisk in 1/2 cup of dairy of your choice. You can use regular milk or you can use a non-dairy milk. To make these fudgicles super creamy and rich, I do recommend using either whole milk or canned coconut milk. Turn your heat to medium and whisk constantly until the sugar and cocoa powder are dissolved. This will take just about 2 minutes. Once dissolved, add in an additional 2 cups of whatever milk you choose. Reduce the heat to low and allow the mixture to thicken. It'll take just about 5 minutes. In a large bowl, place 1/4 cup of chocolate chip. And then you want to place a fine mesh strainer over the bowl and pour the chocolate mixture in over the strainer. This will catch any lumps that may not have dissolved while you were whisking your pudding mixture. Add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and then stir that together until the chocolate chips are melted and the mixture is nice and chocolatey. Pop this in the fridge, let it cool for about 15 to 20 minutes, just like you would homemade chocolate pudding. Once your pudding mixture has set up, remove from your fridge. You can see here a little fingerprint of somebody in my house giving this mixture a try, and it wasn't me this time. Now we want to fold in 1 cup of whipped cream. Gently fold in your whipped cream to your chocolate pudding until it's just incorporated. And then we're going to transfer this mixture into popsicle molds. Use whatever popsicle molds you like. And you're going to pop it in the freezer and let it set up. It'll take 4 hours to freeze until solid. When ready, a great tip that my mom taught me as a little kid is to pop your popsicle mold into a glass of hot water, and then your fudgecicle will slide right out of the mold perfectly. The next dessert sounds complicated, but oh my goodness, it's so easy to make. We're gonna make chocolate panna cotta. If you've never had panna cotta, think of it like a creamy, rich jello. The first thing you need to do is bloom the gelatin. Sounds complicated, couldn't be simpler. In a small bowl, pour in 1/4 cup of either whole milk or canned coconut milk. And then you wanna sprinkle 2 teaspoons of plain gelatin right over your milk mixture. You don't need to mix this mixture, just let it sit there, and the gelatin's going to make the milk mixture really thick, and then it'll help to thicken up our chocolate mixture that we're gonna make now. In a small saucepan, pour in an additional 1 3/4 cup of milk. Add in 1 teaspoon of espresso powder. That really helps the chocolate flavor to deepen and pop when this is all set up. Add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract as well, and whisk. Once your cream mixture is just simmering, add in your bloomed gelatin and whisk well. In a large bowl, place 4 ounces of chopped chocolate or 4 ounces of chocolate chips, and then place a fine mesh strainer over the bowl and pour over the chocolate mixture. Straining this mixture will help catch any little bits of gelatin that may not have dissolved fully into the cream, and will keep your panna cotta super creamy. Stir the cream into the chocolate to fully incorporate and melt the chocolate. Once melted, divide the mixture in between 4 ramekins. Now place the chocolate panna cottas into the fridge for at least 4 hours. When you're ready to serve, just like you did with the fudgecicles, dip your ramekin into hot water and then invert onto a plate. Sprinkle it with powdered sugar, some cocoa powder, serve with berries or whipped cream, or just dig into the luscious, creamy, pudding-like consistency. And finally, let's talk about one of my childhood favorites, drumstick ice cream cones. The first thing you want to do is get out a cookie sheet that will fit into your freezer. Line your cookie sheet with either parchment paper or wax paper. That'll help keep our drumsticks from sticking to our tray. A great tip is to place your ice cream cone into a glass jar to hold it upright, and then you want to place a chocolate chip into the bottom of each cone. That'll help keep the cone from getting soggy, and it'll be a nice little surprise at the end of our treat. Then you want to fill with your favorite ice cream. Use any ice cream you like. You can even use banana ice cream if you want a healthier treat. Pop onto the cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper and pop into the freezer to freeze until solid. It'll take about an hour. Once your cones are frozen solid, we need to melt some chocolate to dip our ice cream cones in. I have 16 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips in a heat-safe bowl. Pop it into the microwave for 1 minute and then stir. Continue to microwave 30-second intervals until your chocolate is nice and melted. And now we need to work relatively quickly. If you want to top your ice cream cones with chopped nuts like a traditional drumstick, be sure to have them out and ready to go as well. Take your ice cream cones out of the freezer and quickly dip your cone into the melted chocolate. Sprinkle with nuts, place back onto your cookie sheet, and place back into the freezer and freeze until solid. It'll only take 15 to 30 minutes. You can serve immediately after the chocolate's set up, or you can transfer these to a freezer-safe container and enjoy throughout the week. Be sure to check out my other favorite no-bake chocolate desserts. You're not gonna wanna miss it. I'll see you there.